Weltanschauung is one of those great big German words for which there is no precise English translation. But it's an important concept, so we need to spend a moment understanding it. Like many of those great big German words, this is a compound word. Welt means world. Anschauung means roughly insight. But world insight doesn't quite make sense in English. Loosely speaking, Weltanschauung refers to a person's world view. But by world view, we mean all of our experiences, emotions, values, ideas blended together to give us a unique lens through which we view the world. Now, it's important to understand that not only do we all have a Weltanschauung, but it's always changing, however imperceptibly, from day to day to day, because we are always accumulating new experiences. Now, what does this have to do with literature? When we read, we get in the minds of other people. We experience something of how they feel, what their values are. We look at the world through the lens of another, and thus our own lens is expanded. So one way to look at literature is to see it as an activity that expands our vision of the world, our Weltanschauung. Now, while we're on the subject of expanded visions of the world, let me define another strange foreign word. This is a Greek one that is also important when thinking about literature. Paragogia. Aristotle wrote the very first book on literature that we have any record of in the 4th century BC. The book was called Poetics, and Aristotle tried to explain what literature does. And in doing so, he used this odd word, paragogia, for which there is no precise English translation. Loosely speaking, paragogia means to teach, but not in the sense that I teach. Aristotle wasn't referring to somebody who stands up in front of a room and bores people. Paragogia means this: teaching by means of the imagination and the emotions, the complex process by which the human soul is changed. I'm going to pause for a minute and let you write that down because it's important. Teaching by means of the imagination and the emotions, the complex process by which the human soul is changed. Now, Aristotle says that's what literature does, and he's referring not so much to the characters in literature, but to the audience, to the reader or the listener, or to the person who watches a play. Through the exercise of our imagination and emotions, our soul is transformed. Aristotle believed that literature changes us fundamentally at our very core. So the German concept of Weltanschauung and the Greek concept of paragogia are useful in understanding the purpose and the potential power of literature.